Hey guys, Manfroom back again with another video, and today we'll be going over Imladris. So just load into the test map. So we are on the final stretch, the final three factions. We got Imladris, which we're doing today, and then I guess the next video or the next faction, which is either Gondor or Angmar, is whichever has the most support in the comments, I'll do. Alright, so from Imladris, the first thing you'll notice as Imladris is this ability over here called Acquire Wisdom. So the way Imladris works in this is you gain power points not through combat or anything. You get it through this ability, and this ability you need this guy on the field, the Scholar, and you can get up to 10 of these guys, I believe. Let's skip around real quick. You need to build the garden.
The building is now finished.
And you can build. Okay, so not so you can have up to 10 of these guys. They cost 250. And they recruit in a decent amount of time, like 30 seconds, I believe. And yeah, that's how you gain power points in this faction. You're gonna need to press this quite a few times though, so obviously that'll be hard if you're getting rushed, because these guys don't really do anything. They're not like combat units or whatever, they're just support units. Okay. So let's just go through the buildings real quick, and we'll go through the units and the heroes. Got our farm. These can be upgraded through one of our heroes.
It is time to build. I was just waiting my turn. We have built a new barracks. Building supplies coming. We're finished with this structure. We've expanded the barracks. Resting my eyes a moment. It is time to build. Building materials. A fair sight indeed. The building is now finished. Build up this land. Our fair city grows larger. We've improved the forge. I have building supplies. A fair sight. Ready your tools. We have a new structure. There is much to do.
Okay.
We're finished with this structure. The ring has been dropped.
So
building materials.
Imladris gets a fairly standard amount of buildings. We got our farm. We got our barracks. Got our siege works. We got heroic statue, battle tower, wall hub, our forge, which has a unique interaction with one of our heroes, and then we got this building called the library. This is where you can recruit the Loremasters. These guys have control over the elements, and they all have different like bonus abilities, and you can create combo hordes with each other. We'll go over that later when we go over the units. And then this building also provides new upgrades. And then the garden obviously recruits scholars and our elven lords. Should we go over the spellbook tree? No, we'll go over the units. So we already went over our scholars. Oh, actually, let's do the fortress real quick.
My Lord Elrond is not here.
We got a magic anvil, so we can decrease our upgrades by 15%. This doesn't affect what's called these upgrades. It's just the upgrades from the forge. We can get the mist, which camouflages your allied units, and then you get the moat. It makes it harder for units to attack, or melee units to attack the base. We get the mystic fountains, allows it acts as a well, and then you can unlock the eagle's nest. And then the eagle's nest just allows you to recruit Gwaihir. Okay, and then Imladris has some unique expansions. So of course we get the arrow tower, and we get the wall hub expansion, but you can also get the fire altar. So you summon the fire Loremasters, and they will shoot them. They do decent damage, specifically to like heroes and monsters. And then you have the air altar. These guys knock back units, and they're better against like weaker units, like cheap units. And then you get the Floodgate expansion. This is really similar to the Isengard Mine expansion. If a unit comes close, a flood will just come out of the statue and knock units over and debuff them. Okay, so let's go over units. So Imladris has a really simple like unit roster for 3rd age. So you just have this one barracks, and it gives you pretty much all the units you're gonna use until 1st stage.
We come to protect Middle
So there are swordsmen, blade masters.
Guard this area.
The thing you'll notice about Imladris units is that they're all just locked to one line of 5 units.
We come to protect Middle-earth. Like the wind.
We got our pikemen and our archers, and then we'll go over our heroic and elite units.
Settle.
Okay, they got the Imladris Guardians, we got the Galathon Guard, and then these units, the Veterans of the Last Alliance. In order to get these guys, you need the level 3 barracks, obviously, and then you need to buy these upgrades, the Helmets of the Last Alliance. This is basically heavy armor, and then the Forge Blades, just Forge Blades, self-explanatory.
We come to protect Middle-earth. Keep your wits sharp. We must protect the woods. Keep your wits sharp.
Okay. So as you can see, all these units are just one line of 5, which which decreases which has pros and cons. So obviously, if you have like a buff for leadership, or whatever, if you apply it on more units, it's more powerful because you get it scales. But these guys make up for it by being extremely more powerful, like per unit. And also, just a quick reminder, these guys are actually quite expensive. Let me remove the statue. So yeah, your swordsmen are 400. These guys are the blade master 450, and your pikemen are 475, which I believe is the most expensive, like pikemen, or starting pikemen. And your archers are 450. So yeah. So these guys are technically like the strongest like 3rd age units per unit. So like your swordsmen here, they have 1400 health per unit. But a consequence of that is that if you're playing against like a person or like a faction that has a lot more units, like each individual unit will take a lot more damage. Like they'll be focused more. So it's just how it goes. The swordsmen, they have a special ability which is unlocked at level 1. They gain 25% armor, and they slow down trampling enemies, cavalry, twice as much. And then let's actually just get all the upgrades. We get the banner carrier. The unique thing about Imladris is that the banners provide bonuses to units. It doesn't say on the units, but it was written here. So infantry, this should just say swordsman. The swordsmen gain 25% damage, the pikemen get 25% armor, the archers gain increased fire rate, and then cavalry get a speed buff. And they get the golden arrows. This is kind of different than all the other upgraded arrows. We'll go over that in a sec though. But yeah, upgraded arrows.
The new upgrade is ready. Weapons ready, elves.
Let's upgrade these guys. Another thing that's kind of unique about Imladris is that you are regular infantry, so these guys and the I forgot to build the I forgot to build the pasture. My apologies. Let's just build that real quick. We got the pasture is where you get your cavalry and your elite cavalry, and then the shield if you want to upgrade the regular cavalry.
The new upgrade is ready.
This is similar to the horse shields in Arnor. It just provides extra armor against pikes and arrows. Okay. Let's just build these real quick. Okay.
We ride from Rivendell. Over here, elves. We ride from Rivendell. We must defend these lands.
Okay. So one thing about, as I was saying before, a unique thing about Imladris units is because they're so powerful, they actually don't really level up on their own with if they're level 1.
Weapons
in order to get these guys to actually like level up, you're gonna need the banner carrier upgrade. And then they'll level up as normal.
Be alert, sentry. Our homes must be defended. Rally together, lancers.
And then for all these guys, except the archers, I think when they level up. Okay, no. You need that military such that.
Be alert, sentry.
One moment.
Guard this area. Settle. Stay on guard.
Okay, so from the... Where's the swordsman? Yeah, these guys. They have another ability here. This requires blacksmithing studies, which you get from the... from the library. My apologies. So... get military studies.
Our homes must be
Okay, yeah, this has the wrong description. It's just military studies where you need to unlock the special abilities for these units. So for the swordsman, they get another buff. It can't be used in combination with their first ability. And they get 25% damage and 35% speed. And then they get the upgrade, standard upgrades. And then the blade masters. This is a unique unit to Imladris. So these guys actually deal splash damage. They're really good against spam factions and like weak units, but they are they're much weaker against heroes and like upper tier units. Another unique thing about them is they deal, or they're much more resistant to cavalry than the swordsman. So maybe you're asking, why would you ever go the swordsman over these guys? Like I said before, these guys are not as good against like elite units, heroes. They're not very good against buildings at all. And I think the swordsman get slightly more, or I think they have slightly, the swordsmen have slightly better armor against everything else. These guys also get standard upgrades. So yeah, this passive is they're just talking about how they deal splash damage, and they're not as good against monsters, cavalry, or heroes. Should also say buildings, but regardless. The unique thing about them is when they get the forge blade, I believe they their weapon changes, and I forgot how their weapon changes, but I don't believe they deal splash damage anymore, and they become better against heroes and such. Then we got their art of weaponry, which is unlocked with the military studies ability. For 30 seconds, they deal increased damage to enemies who are not wearing heavy armor.
Forward. We must protect the woods.
Okay, we got the pikemen. So the pikemen get a shield wall formation. You get the standard upgrades. Their passive is they get a leadership, which affects themselves as well.
Protect these lands.
They grant themselves and nearby allied infantry and cavalry units 5% experience gain, 5% armor, and 5% damage. And then the archers, these guys get the standard upgrades. So golden arrows. It's unlocked, or it's explained in their passive. So their passive, which explains the golden tipped arrows have a bonus effect when they're shot. So near the point of impact, so let's say like a melee unit is fighting a unit and the archers are shooting at range, when those arrows hit those enemy units, they'll also give a 30% damage buff to nearby allied units. So that's pretty good. And then they also get a formation where they cannot be trampled or knocked back, but they will lose quite a decent amount of range.
With haste. Riders.
Okay, let's keep going over the barracks units. The Galathon guards, these guys are elite units, so they can level up to 10. They also get a shield wall formation.
Hurry, elves of the wood.
They already come with heavy armor, so they can get forge blades and the banner carriers. Says the wrong. Says the wrong upgrade name.
We must protect
But yeah,
the woods from the
that's
enemy.
all there is for these guys. And then
Weapons ready, elves.
the Imladris Guardians, they require in-depth military studies, which is another upgrade from the library.
Watch for the enemy.
So for these guys, for 20 seconds, any enemy that is struck by their blade is paralyzed for 5 seconds, and then they also get a leadership
Watch
at
your
level
footing.
5. They'll grant nearby allied infantry and cavalry fear and terror resistance, and then they also gain twice as much experience. So it can be very good.
Hurry, elves of the wood.
And then we got
We must
the
protect
veterans
the
of the Last Alliance. One of the strongest units in the game. They are an elite unit. The passive is that they can actually level up to 20, which gives them, if you're actually able to do that, that's an insane increase to their health and their damage. And then they have this active ability level 2 called Masterful Example. It requires the in-depth military studies upgrade, so nearby
Your footing.
allied infantry and cavalry units gain experience 50% faster for 30 seconds. It does not affect themselves at all. And then they get this ability,
Get it quick.
Last Line of the Free Peoples. So this is a scaling active ability. So when you activate it, the veterans lose 50% speed, but deal double damage for 30 seconds. At level 10, they will also get 50% armor. At level 15, they will gain knockback resistance and immunity to trample. And at level 20, they will instead do 250% damage. So, yes, they become incredibly strong, but they do lose speed, so you're not going to be able to retreat or chase down retreating enemies. Now let's go to the cavalry units. This is your regular, this is your advanced cav. Imladris Lancers, they get a wedge formation, 25% armor minus 25% damage. They can get the forge blades, the heavy armor, and the Wind Rider shields reduces damage, taking my arrows and spears.
We protect the house of Elrond.
And then these are the Wind Riders. This is your elite cavalry unit. They gain a active ability if you get in-depth military studies. So they get 50% damage, 25% speed, and minus 50% trample deceleration. So they'll slow down less when they're actually charging through units. Okay.
Let's get this trebuchet where we can use it.
Okay, so we have the Elven Catapult. I guess it's kind of like the unique thing is they get this ammunition, the blinding ammunition, so you can switch between it. So normally it's just a catapult, it does good damage to buildings, and then if you swap ammunition, you launch ammunition that stuns enemy units. So that can be pretty useful. No one really ever uses this. no one ever really uses the Imladris catapults. But it's kind of cool. Now let's get to the we already went over the scholars. We got the Elven Lords.
I will guard our people.
These guys are heroic units.
We must keep our borders safe.
So the way these guys work is you buy upgrades for them. They also get this active ability if you get in-depth military studies. So for 15 seconds, they are surrounded by a light, and then the light, when they are nearby enemy units, those enemy units lose 25% armor and 25% damage. And then you can buy these upgrades. Blade of Linden, so increases their damage. Armor of Imladris increases their armor. Amulet of Lothlorien increases their health and reduces the cooldown on his ability. And then Cloak of Mirkwood, so this grants them a movement and attack speed bonus. Okay.
Onward.
Okay.
I will guard our
Now we can get to before we do that, get to the Loremasters, we should actually go over these additional upgrades. So blasting size, these are very powerful upgrades, so you need the other upgrade, the respective upgrades beforehand. So for this one you need forge blades for this to actually do anything. So you get the blades of Eregion.
We must
As you see
protect
here,
the
you can buy the
woods.
blades of Eregion.
Get it quick.
So
Weapons ready, elves.
this says they
Line
have a higher attack speed. I think that's true.
up. Watch for the enemy.
I kind of forget. I don't really play Imladris that much, but they deal more damage for sure, and I guess they also attack faster.
Stay on guard.
So this is gonna go on the
Weapons
obviously
ready,
your
elves. Weapons.
melee infantry units, and it also okay, the cav doesn't get them. Yep. And then you can also get the in-depth blacksmithing studies, which allows the archers to get the Eregion bows.
We must
So
protect the
Eregion
woods.
bows gives these units a significant damage increase, and they still have the same golden tipped arrow bonus where units near the point of impact of the arrows gain a damage buff.
Be quick.
Okay, now let's get to the Loremasters. We have the Earth Loremasters, the
We will
Water
defend the Elven
Loremasters,
land. We will
the
defend
Fire
the Elven
Loremasters, and
land. We will
the
defend the Elven lands.
Air
We will
Loremasters.
defend the
Each
Elven
of these guys are
lands.
limited to 4.
Elves of Mithlond. Line it
And
up.
each can form a combo horde with each other, and each has their own kind of unique abilities on their own. So these guys, the Fire Loremasters,
Protect these lands.
their special ability is that they basically provide a permanent damage buff to the units from the barracks, or I think actually pretty much all the units, right? Yep, so basically all the units except the Galathon guards and the veterans of the Last Alliance. Yep, so all these units except the Galathon guards and the veterans can get the Heart of Flame upgrade.
Press
And what
on.
that does is units will get a permanent damage buff.
Ready, elves.
Okay. So you can see the it shows up the Heart of Fire upgrade.
Be alert, sentry. We must protect Middle Earth.
And then we got the Wrath of the we got the Earth Loremasters.
Line it up.
I'm reading it wrong.
protect
Sorry.
Middle-earth.
Alright, so the Earth Loremasters, they create like a mini earthquake. Yeah. Like a mini earthquake, and then it's really good against buildings. Like you can use these guys kind of in place of the catapults, and then you don't get the range of the catapult, but you get like
Stay on guard.
siege damage on a unit, which can be better. And then heroes only suffer minor damage, and then knocks them back. Okay, we got the the Wind Loremasters. So for 40 seconds, nearby allied infantry and cavalry units deal 50% more damage. They gain 50% speed, and they gain resistance to fear and terror. So that's really good. It's a good active buff.
We must protect Middle
And
Earth.
then we got the Water Loremasters. This is really simple. This is just Athelos for all nearby units. Oh,
Elves of
I just
Mithlond.
accidentally made the combo horde ahead of time. But you still have they still have the ability.
We must protect Middle Earth.
Okay, so I guess we'll segue into the combo horde. So each one can combine with the other.
Line it up.
Let's get 2 more
We will
water
defend
guys.
the
And
Elven
we'll go
land,
from
the
there.
Elven lands. Stay on guard. Elves of Mithlond. Line it up. We must protect Middle Earth. Quick. Line it up. Protect these lands. Stay on guard. Forward.
Okay, so
Line it up.
we'll start here. So when you combine them, they keep their original 2 abilities. Like the water and air and water still keep the heal and the active buff, but now they get a new ability. So this creates a flood, and then the flood also debuffs enemy heroes. They lose 30% armor, damage, and speed for 30 seconds. So that's very strong. These guys, the Water and Earth Loremasters, they create the Elven Grove forests. It lasts for 3 minutes. Allied infantry and cavalry units in the forest gain 40% armor and resistance to fear and terror. And then these guys, the Water and the Fire Loremasters, they get a mist, like a hot spring mist, I guess. And then all enemies, so this affects heroes and monsters, lose 25% to all attributes. So armor, damage, speed, knockback resistance, fear and terror resistance, everything. So that's very, very strong. Now let's we'll go over the fire guys some more.
We will defend the Elven lands. We will defend the Elven lands. Line it up. Elves of Mithlond. We will defend the Elven lands. Press on. Elves of Mithlond. Stay on guard.
Okay, so the Earth and Fire Loremasters, they get a catapult, or a mini barrage ability. They have a different... Yeah, they kind of have a little bit of a different effect. And this is not like the Mordor or Dwarven barrage. It's a bit weaker.
Line it up.
And then the Fire and Air Loremasters, they get like a Sunflare kind of ability. Okay, so this ray, so it does damage, it burns enemies caught in the light, and then trolls will be turned to stone, and then other units near the light will cower in fear. Okay, so that's a fear, a troll, it's a stun, and then also does a little bit of damage. And then what else? Did all the water, we did all the fire. We need earth and air.
We will defend the Elven lands. Guard this area. Line it up. Elves of Mithlond. Protect these lands.
So the Earth and the Air Loremasters can actually summon some tornadoes on the battlefield. You cannot move these though. Yeah, so it's 3 tornadoes and they cannot be moved. And then I think that's it actually. Yep, that's it. Hold on, let me double check.
We must protect Middle-earth.
Yep, that's it. So that's all the Loremaster hordes. They're very strong units. Obviously, some of the abilities are not all created equal, and they're good in different scenarios. But it's very cool. That's one of the reasons, in my opinion, to actually play Imladris.
Protect these lands.
So now let's go over the heroes, and then we'll do the spellbook, because there's like, do the spellbook later because it's just one ability that kind of like affects a hero. And then, okay, so let's get all our heroes.
My bow will find its mark. My skill will be seen by all.
Let your decision be not long delayed.
I sense a dark presence.
How will the world speak my name in years to come? Will I be known as the philosopher?
I serve the house of Elrond. Be swift.
The end has come.
Too long.
I will rid them from
The
these
servants
lands.
of evil have ravished our people.
Okay.
Once proud king.
So let's start with our scout hero Gildor. He gets the cloak ability at level 1, so if he stands still, he's invisible. At level 3, he gets Gildor's song. So all enemies near Gildor's song lose 25% speed, and then all allies gain 25% speed, and it lasts for 10 seconds. At level 5, he gains an active, or kind of an upgrade, I guess, for a hero. He can target a hero, and then I should actually just go level these guys up real quick. What's it called? Where is it? Where is he? All elves. I think it's just elven units near the hero gain 50% damage. Okay, so at level 7, he gains 30% armor and gains experience 50% faster. He provides allied heroes immune to poison damage. And then nearby units gain 25% speed. Now level 10, this is the same ability as was it Thranduil's and Bella. I'm forgetting his name. The first stage archery hero for Lothlorien. It's the same ability. Okay, and then the next hero is actually Erestor. He's a support hero, but he's easily one of your most important heroes. So at level 1, he gets this Wisdom of the Ancients ability, so you can target a farm from Imladris, and the farm will permanently produce 30% more resources. Or 20% more resources. Yeah, 20% more resources. Is it gonna... Yeah, alright. And then, you actually don't need to level him up. You don't level him up through combat. You actually buy this. You kind of like as you'll see in the future, Glorfindel works the same way. So you buy this, and then it levels him up, and unlocks a new ability, and then gets military studies, so he marks an enemy hero for 60 seconds. So during this time, any allied units near the target lose 10% speed, but also during this time, Loremasters and infantry units near the target deal double damage for 10 seconds, so kind of a whack ability, honestly. Elrond's advisors, so as long as he's on the field, all your hero costs will be decreased, will be 20% less. His fourth ability is he can level up a farm. This gives him usually like a level and a half, so it's really strong. Definitely worth upgrading for. And then his last ability is he provides 50% cooldown to all the spellbook powers. It affects this. This is a spellbook power. So kind of getting Erestor early and then kind of leveling him up so you can get this will help you level or get through the spellbook faster with acquire wisdom and getting a whole bunch of scholars. For the next hero, we'll go over Arwen. So at level 1, she can mount her horse Asphaloth, and then if she gets a unique ability when she's on Asphaloth, she gets 50% speed, 100% armor, but she can't trample. At level 3, she gets a this is a heal. I believe this affects infantry units too. At level 5, this she gets she causes enemies to flee in terror. Then at level 10, she can summon Aragorn. We're gonna briefly segue into the spellbook tree. I'm just gonna buy all these powers except the first stage real quick, and then we'll go over them later. So Arwen specifically interacts with this ability, or this spellbook power specifically affects Arwen. So it provides Arwen with a leadership, and it also allows her to summon Strider Aragorn at level 8 instead of 10. So this leadership is Arwen and heroes in her area receive 20% armor. They heal faster and they recharge their abilities 20% faster. So that's quite strong. And she also gets a model change. She's on like this green robe. I don't know why she's so bright. I think it's this ability. And also when she gets the influence of the Evening Star, she also gains access to a new palantir of abilities. Let's summon Aragorn real quickly. Okay, so on this new palantir there's her heal. She gets this ability. This is the same ability as the Arnor first stage female hero. I'm forgetting her name. Tenuviel, I believe. The daughter of Tar Elros. Or Elros Tar Miniatar. There you go, I can remember some names. So basically this paralyzes everything except the Valar that's near Arwen. So all allied units and heroes will be paralyzed, they will be invulnerable, Arwen can move, and then if she leaves the area, the units and heroes will eventually be unparalyzed. Arwen cannot attack. This also cannot be used while she's on her horse. So yeah, kind of a skill test ability. You can use it to just be annoying, or you can use it to save yourself from some pretty powerful abilities. So it's it can be a very useful ability. Level 9, she gets a look into the future. So for 30 seconds, if she uses any one of her abilities, it will reduce the cooldown by 50%. So this is very, very powerful. You can use it on the heal, and the heal is already on a low cooldown, so you can just have it a lot. Flood, so Arwen summons a flood, and then okay, it's not a flood. She summons like a water horse, and then any enemies that are hit by the flood lose 30% armor, damage, and speed for 30 seconds.
You have the gift of foresight. It's the ring.
Let's go over Aragorn really quickly. So Aragorn can actually summon the Dunedain tent. And the Dunedain tent actually has Dunedain units and upgrades for them. So you can get the swordsman and the rangers. I'll be quite honest, you don't really ever summon this because it just does not fit in with the game plan, but it is very cool flavor. These guys can get forge blades, they can get the leather armor, this is just heavy armor. And you can also research fire arrows. They can get banner carriers. I believe these Dunedain Rangers are pretty much the same unit as the Arnor Rangers, but just with different textures. They get forge blades, or not forge blades, this needs to be changed. Leather or heavy armor, fire arrows, and then they also get long straught. Okay, and then they also get bombard. Okay, so back to Aragorn. He gets the cloak.
I can avoid being seen if I wish.
He's also, if he's in trees, he's just automatically stealthed.
These borders are well protected.
This is a unique ability for Aragorn in this version. So he can actually go on a mission. And when you activate this, as long as he's on one of these missions, he gets 50% armor. Actually, I think he just gets it right away. Yeah, so as long as he's in this palantir, he gets 50% armor and 50% damage. So for the first one, so orc hunting. So he marks a unit, granting a permanent vision. So the unit is permanently marked, and then himself and Dunedain units, when they approach the unit, they deal double damage. Hunt for Gollum. If you're playing with the Silmaril on, this will automatically reveal Maglor on the map. After 10 seconds, I guess. Yeah, so, and it will mark him for a bit. And then the last one requires level 10 for 40 seconds. Okay, so every time he attacks, he summons the Rohan or Gondor unit. Kind of like... Okay, it's not every time he attacks, so he's just going to summon units for like 40 seconds. So, that's pretty cool.
Right out.
Okay, and then at level 3, he gains an active ability, so he stuns enemy units. Allied units and heroes temporarily gain 20% speed and 30% damage. And then level 5, for 3 seconds he acts as a mobile well, and he constantly heals all allies.
There's something strange at work.
Let us flame this field with haste.
So the next hero will be the twins. So the twins are a very unique hero here. So first off, they have an ability, so they can go into the forge, and when they're near it, and this does 2 things. When they're in the forge, it will discount all unit upgrades by 10%. It does not stack with the fortress upgrade, but if you don't have it and you need to get these guys instead, it serves a similar purpose. And then the twins gain the ability where they can give any Imladris hero, even the first stage ones, 100 plus 100 damage, and it's permanent. So we'll just use it on Aragorn. You do have to be kind of close. This can't be used across the map. As you can see, he gains upgrade for his own blades. Plus, he's now at 700 damage. So, that's cool. It is on a fairly long cooldown though, so you don't always want to keep the twins in there because they also have other useful combat abilities. So the twins also have 2 Palanters. They get a Blade Master at level 3 where they gain 25% armor, damage, speed, and knockback resistance, and they interact with Elrond. We'll go over this later when we're talking about Elrond. Level 5, they gain a 25% armor buff. At level 7, so they become stealth, I believe. Yep, they become stealth, and if they attack someone from behind, okay, so they will deal massive damage, or when they do attack, they do additional damage. They immobilize the target. They become unstealthed. If they are attacking from behind, that's additional 50% more damage, and it can't be used while the Blade Master, or this ability, Revenge for Celebrian, is active. Level 10, they can actually separate into their own heroes. So the first ability is they can just reunite with each other. They both get the Revenge for Celebrian buff. They both get the armor upgrade. And then I believe this is the same. Nope, okay, so okay, the level 10 is the same. So I think they have to actually be next to each other for this ability. Let me see. Nope. Okay, no. So is this Eladon? Okay, this is Eladon. So at level 7 he gets a cripple. Knocks him down and cripples him for 12 seconds. And then this level 10 is the same, so let's go to Elrond. So Elrond deals massive damage to an enemy hero. If the hero is crippled by Eladon, it deals 50% more damage. And then they're level 10.
We must rid ourselves of Sauron's justice to the enemy. Come with me.
That's a very cool effect. I think it just does like a really powerful strike in close range. Let's go over there.
I shall lead you well. Here. Go forward. I sense a dark presence. I will guard our people. I shall lead you well. We must bring justice to the enemy. We must rid ourselves of Sauron's servants. Keep up the attack! I sense a dark presence.
Okay. So they do have to be kind of close to him, and it does a lot of damage. Alright.
We cannot stay here. I sense a dark presence. They need our
Now, going on, we got Cirdan. Cirdan at level 1, he gets an active healing, so heroes are constantly healed for 25 seconds. I believe this also works in combat. At level 2, he has 2 Palanters, so he gets a Palantir switch. And we'll go over the first Palantir first. Level 5, he gets a stun. Enemy units flee in terror. At levels 8, he gains a very cool ability. So,
I'm afraid so. Yet you have never been there. You must have shown me real loyalty.
alright, so favorite Ulmo. So, for the next 40 seconds, he waves of water will randomly like shoot out of Cirdan. And then the waves do the same as all the other floods. They lose enemy heroes lose 30% armor, damage, and speed for 30 seconds. So hopefully I can show it here. Yeah, there we go. And that's a pretty wide radius too, so you can do some serious damage with that. And then at level 10, he gets what is this? Just Maelstrom. Okay. Similar to Sauron's ability. That does a lot of damage, wow.
Your fault is my failure.
Typically those abilities don't always do that much damage. Okay.
You go too far.
So at level 2 on the other Palantir, he can summon this building. And then the building also interacts with has a couple of features. So the building heals units or allies, all allies, near it, and then they're also camouflaged, and then it also summons the vanilla Mythlon sentries. You can't control them, but they will defend the tower. At level 3, Cirdan gives a leadership. Allied infantry and cavalry near him gain 33% armor, damage, and resistance to fear and terror. At level 4, he can summon Galdor from the building, and the way Galdor works is he is dependent completely on Cirdan's level. Okay. It does take a while for Galdor to appear, and then we can just go over the last ability. So level 7, he can make it so ships are built faster. If you're playing on a ship map, I guess that can be pretty good, but 99% of the time it's not gonna be there. It's just a flavor ability because he is the ship builder in the Lord of the Rings universe.
My decision disappoints you.
Where is Galdor? It does take a while for him to spawn.
Determination, resourcefulness.
Do not know why. Oh, and also you can put a unit in here, and I believe they can shoot from it. So if you want to put an archer in here,
My skill will be seen by all.
that'll work.
I will rid them from these
Okay,
lands.
so we have Galdor. So his passive is his level is tied to Cirdan's level. Also, so these Mythlon sentries are temporary, and they just come out every, I don't know, 40 seconds or something. It seems
My
like.
skill will be seen by all.
So his first ability, he can actually summon a battalion, I believe.
Line it up.
Okay,
Move
yep.
into the structure. Press on.
He can actually summon the group of Mythlon sentries to control. These guys do not have a level though.
Ready yourselves.
So his next ability, which requires level 6.
It's the ring.
I guess this is a heal. It says it restores the members of the battalion. Not entirely sure what that
Over
does.
here.
But these two abilities though are these next two abilities are pretty cool. So
Swiftly.
his level 8 ability, he's surrounded by a light, and then it redirects all damage. All attacking units and arrows that are fired are redirected. It does not affect heroes though, and magical and elemental attacks cannot penetrate the light shield. So that's pretty cool. And I guess you cannot use this ability while this is active, so in 30 seconds you'll be able to activate this.
We must not waver. With haste.
Alright, so Invocation of the Mire. So Galdor attacks with a spear, and then he gets one of 2 bonuses. If he get the Blessing of Uinen, which I believe is Ulmo's wife, if I'm not mistaken. So the area around Galdor heals allies around him for 60 seconds, or he gets Ossi's Anger. Or is Uinen the... I'm getting my lore mixed up today.
Hurry!
Alright, and then the second possible bonus is Ossi's Anger emerges in the form of a tidal wave that devours Galdor's attackers. So that's the healing wave. Do you only get one of them? I think you can only get one of them. Oh, okay, so you can get multiple. There we go. He does summon the wave sometimes. Okay, so that's really cool.
Find your courage. Over
So
here.
kind of like Cirdan's ability.
Onward.
And this is... I assume this also lasts for 60 seconds. We're going to delete this so these guys stop spawning.
My skill will be seen by all.
Okay, on to the next hero, which is Glorfindel. Glorfindel is an absurd... He's pretty insane in Arnor. He's even more kind of insane here. So he also gets a mount level 1. It also says Asphaleth. I'm actually not sure if him and Arwen actually ride the same horse, or they just happen to be the same name.
Why are we here?
I will rid them from these lands.
Just want to check if the abilities were still, or if the trainer was on or not. So, so you can mount his horse, and then on his horse, he gets this ability, Wind Rider. He can get 40% speed and 50% armor, but he cannot crush units. It can be activated while moving, so you could be running at full speed, and it'll just trigger. Yeah. And then these abilities are typically locked. I don't think... Okay, yeah. You can't actually activate these on this horse. Alright, so you do need to properly unlock them. Okay. So we'll be going over these in a moment. Glorfindel has a passive. He provides fear and terror resistance to nearby allied units. He has a debuff, which only affects heroes. This is one of like... I think he's one of like... I don't know. He's one of a handful of characters in the game that actually has a passive debuff for heroes, so this is an incredibly strong ability. It gives Imladris an insane edge in like hero fights, and like being able to snipe heroes with their archers. He gets a blade. He gets the blade of purity at level 3. He gains 50% damage, 50% armor, and his abilities will recharge faster. It can only activate that on foot, and then Glorfindel has a second Palantir, but we have to unlock... It is only unlocked once we get to level 5, and even then, you do not get all the abilities right away, so... We get the Power of Memory, so... you activate this, it unlocks a new submenu, and then depending on the level, you'll have a choice of these abilities. To unlock, so you get the Memory of Gondolin, it unlocks Starlight. There's just a whole bunch of flavor text here, and then... Starlight, and then the effect is at the bottom. So this acts as a heal, I believe. Or, let me backtrack a sec. So depending on which one you activate, typically there's an ability, a hidden ability. If you activate the ability, it unlocks shortly afterwards. So it unlocks Starlight, and then if Starlight is used right after this ability, Memory of Gondolin is activated, it'll heal all allies and the nearby allies. Warriors of the Eldar. It unlocks Self-Sacrifice. If you use Self-Sacrifice right after using this ability, Glorfindel will be saved from death. I don't think this actually works. I think these other ones, though, do work. House of the Golden Flower at level 8 and unlocks Prophecy. If Prophecy is used right after this ability was activated, enemy it's near the target. Cower in Fear, and they permanently lose 25% armor damage, so that's a permanent debuff. That's very powerful. At level 10, it unlocks the Light of Hope ability. If Light of Hope is used right after this, 2 Lights of Valinor will appear instead of 1. Typically, when you're using him, you're not. The first time you activate, you will be unlocking this right away. He's kind of buggy, from my experience. So we're gonna just do this in order because I think that's. Obviously, we have the trainer, but it'll just be more accurate to how it will actually function. Okay. Okay, the ability is actually almost equivalent. So now that we've unlocked one of the powers, we can switch to Palantir. These are bugged. They're just because of the trainer. But anyway, now we can use this. So now we can actually read the ability. Nearby allied infantry and cavalry units temporarily gain 50% armor damage. This buff cannot be nullified and it doesn't stack. So kind of limiting there.
Stay quiet.
We're going to activate our Blade of Purity. Hopefully this will be off cooldown so we can get the 25% discount or recharge cooldown. Okay. So now we can unlock Warriors of the Eldar. So this doesn't actually kill Glorfindel.
This is the way.
So I guess the description is a little bit misleading there. So basically, he insta-kills a hero, but Glorfindel will be crippled for 30 seconds and he'll lose most of his health. So it's pretty much the same as if he was killed, unless you have the army and the heals to back him up.
Their evil ends here. Invaders!
Let's just send him down there real quick.
Be swift. Follow me. We must be off. It's the ring. Get it quick.
Glorfindel's very fast on his horse.
Keep up.
All the Elven, or I don't know if I mentioned this before, but all the Elven mounted heroes are actually the fastest mounted heroes in the game.
Let us go. Here.
Okay,
Follow me.
so I think can we use this on Ring Sauron? We can, but as you see, he is crippled and he loses most of his health there.
I know these parts.
I'm pretty sure the range, you do have to be like really close for this to actually work. Okay.
We must gather our strength. We must be off.
So, if you're still here at this point in the video, I'll just say this from now on. When we go over the ring mechanic, there's actually a way to get Glorfindel blessed by Mandos. We'll be going over that later. This will be, we're already at the hour mark. This is this is going to be longer than most of the other videos, just because of the way the Imladris heroes are.
Must not delay.
Okay, let's activate this again. Let's get House of the Golden Flower. So with Prophecy, so Glorfindel condemns an enemy hero. The target hero and all enemies beside him lose 50% armor, 50% damage, and they take twice as long to recharge their abilities. So if this is activated right after,
Take them here.
the enemy units when near that hero will always run away from them. That's kind of cool if you think about it. All the units are afraid of the hero because he's like marked for death.
I will face them. Be swift. Keep up. Stay quiet.
Alright, well, we're just going to use the trainer to unlock the last ability. Okay, Memory of Valinor. This unlocks the Light of... Is it Light of Hope? Light of Hope, yep. So this should summon 2 of these. Okay, it didn't. Normally when you do activate it though in like in a regular fashion, it will summon 2. So this light stuns all enemies, I think. Yeah, Light of Hope appears for 20 seconds. All enemies near the light are paralyzed, and then it also heals. And then if you normally if you use it after you use the memory ability, it'll summon 2. So that's Glorfindel. We'll get back to him later. The next hero we'll go over is we're actually gonna go over Gwaihir. We're gonna level him up. Yeah, just level him up by killing some units real quick. I guess I'll I'll go over the keep going over the heroes. I actually should have gone over the first stage stuff. We'll go over Gwaihir and then we'll go over the spellbook powers, the first stage, and then we'll do Elrond and the rest of the heroes. Okay, so Gwaihir, he gets a Screech at level 2. Just like, it just makes units flee in terror. He gets the Wing Blast abilities, so like, kind of like Drogoth, where he kind of just knocks over units right underneath him. He gets a passive ability, so Eagles near Gwaihir cause 25% more damage and have 25% more armor, and then Gwaihir receives more. He receives 25% vision and speed. At level 8, he can permanently protect an allied hero, so as long as Gwaihir is near the hero gains 50% armor, and then at level 10, he summons Eagles to attack a specific area. Okay. That does not last very long. I think that only lasted about like 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Okay, so we'll briefly go over spellbook powers real quick. The Acquire Wisdom, which is unique to Imladris, this is how you get your spellbook points. It'll make it so these guys can't be moved, and it does take a while for the spellbook point, or for the power points. My apologies. The power points actually appear, so do be careful with them. It can be kind of countered like that, and then. Excuse me. Alright, Weapons of Noldor. Targeted infantry gain 50% damage, 20% speed for 20 seconds. We get the Enshrouding Mist. This is a very powerful tier 1 power. It is an actual debuff, so like the bats, it'll actually remove buffs and leaderships, and it lasts for 60 seconds. So friendly units in the mist become stealth. Enemy infantry and cavalry within the mist also lose 25% armor and damage on top of their leaderships and buffs being removed. You get the heal.
It's the ring. Get it quick.
You get the Hobbit summon. Summon Sam, Frodo, and a group of hobbits. This is
So far from home.
this is a weak summon. It's just flavorful because I guess Imladris is near the Shire.
You can count on me.
Yeah. We get Elven Wood. This is the same. This is same as Celeborn, or not Celeborn. It is Celeborn. Yes, same as Celeborn's level 4 from in Lothlorien. It's the same, literally the same forest it summons. Get Winds of Protection. This is actually a very useful ability. It makes it so the building a structure cannot be attacked by anything for 30 seconds. You got Tom Bombadil. And he's also summoned with his wife, Goldberry. So Tom is like the same as he is in vanilla. He just runs around, he knocks over enemies, he punches he punches people, and he gets the Sonic Blast, which is just a nice little wizard blast.
Friends of Middle-earth.
Goldberry, she provides constant healing to nearby allied units and heroes, and she can also just teleport to anywhere. Okay. And we have the Council of Elrond. So there are four variations of what you can summon. You can get Legolas and 2 battalions of Mirkwood Archers, the vanilla Mirkwood Archers, not the. Or I think we went over them in the Lothlorien video. Yeah, you can get Gimli and Gloin, you can get Boromir and 3 Gondor battalions, or you can get Gandalf the Grey. So let's see what we roll here. I'm not going to summon all of them, but you pretty much get the point. They're temporary. They have some of their abilities. So Gimli, we rolled Gimli and Gloin. They only get 3 of their abilities, and I think they're on like a 90-second timer or something. Okay.
Let him stay there.
And then the tier 4 powers, so you'll get these after first stage. You'll get the Avengers of Flim Ekfil. So you'll summon permanently. You'll summon an army from Flim Ekfil. You permanently get though Ecthelion. You can get these an army of first stage Elven units, all leveled up to 10. So yeah, this is incredibly strong summon. We'll go over him later when we're going over all the first stage heroes and units. And then we get to kill Estel, so it summons Irendil on the ship Fingalot. So the ship is, this is very, very powerful. This acts as a buff, a debuff, and a stun. So the ship buffs allies, all allies, weakens enemies. I think it's all enemies, and then specifically if Encalagon is nearby this boat, Encalagon is just going to be stunned when near it. So this can be a hard counter to goblins in the late game. Let's summon the boat. So, Erendil Admire, I hope I said that right. So, all units and heroes beneath the ship are constantly healed, even in combat, so that's incredibly strong. Those heroes and units also gain 50% armor and immunity to fear and terror. Enemy infantry and cavalry beneath the ship. Okay, so it's just enemy infantry and cavalry will lose 25% damage and 100% vision. If Encalagon is nearby, he will be stunned.
It's the ring. Get it quick.
Let's get the first age power now. We're gonna go over Elrond and Gil-galad later because they kind of interact with the silmaril mechanic. Elrond being our silmaril hero, of course. So, as Imladris, you are blessed in that you actually have 2 first stage buildings you can summon. You do not get 2 Valors though. You can get the Tower of Gondolin, so you can get units and the hero from Gondolin. And you can also summon the Mandos Fortress, which is where Fëanor had the silmarils in the, or had the silmarils before he lost them to Morgoth, before Morgoth stole them. Okay. Also, I think Imladris actually has the coolest first stage music. Let me know in the comments if you agree. Okay, so let's go over the tower. So the Gondolin Tower, you can put units in here. Yeah, you can.
What is it?
Yeah, you can put units or heroes in here. I don't recommend that though. It's sometimes they don't come out of the tower. So the tower has a passive. So it provides camouflage to all nearby allies. Infantry, cavalry, and heroes near the tower gain 40% range, vision, and magic or spell damage, which is just a fancy way to say magic damage. 2 battalions can be put into here, but you can't get them out unless you destroy the building. It has an active ability here, Gathering of Light, so you can use this to cause enemies to flee in terror. Cool. And then you get some elite first stage units.
Do not stop till nightfall.
So we can get the archers, we can get lancers, or spearmen, and we can get warriors. So Gondolin, so like we've seen so far, the Gondolin units get are also in 1 battalion of 5 units. They all have a unique a passive ability, so they're all immune to magic damage, and then the warriors gain resistance to pierce damage, so arrows. The archers gain resistance to slash damage, swordsmen, and the pikemen gain resistance to crush damage, so any sort of trample, balrogs, cav, big units like that, they're just gonna get 50% additional resistance. The spearmen get a shield wall, and then all the Gondolin units get the armor upgrade.
Our homes must be defended. Watch for the enemy.
And they also, you can think about these guys, they also get a banner carrier.
Ready, elves.
We shall rest
From the first stage, from the Golem Tower, you can also summon Turgon. Turgon has he has quite a few passives here. So at level 1, Gondolin units, nearby Gondolin units gain 25% armor, immunity, and knockback. At level 5, he grants nearby allied heroes 50% resistance to magic and fire damage. At level 8, every time he attacks, nearby enemy units lose 25% armor for 15 seconds. At level 3, nearby allied infantry and cavalry units gain 25% armor, damage, speed, and resistance to fear and terror for 15 seconds. He has to be near an Imladris structure though, so you can't use this when you're in enemy territory. Level 4, he can repair a structure. He gets rebuild if an Imladris structure is near it or within the radius. At level 7, he summons Tor.
For the cause.
Tor is
Never forget why we fight.
temporary summon. Tor provides allied infantry and cavalry units to resistance to knockback, fear, and terror. And then he also temporarily deals splash damage and knocks back enemies. So he gets kind of a Blade Master. And then at level 10, Turgon can summon another Gondolin tower with an army of Gondolin units.
We must protect the woods.
Consumes it with a burning flame that does not avail.
Okay. So now we are at the Mandos fortress. We'll go over the passive abilities first. So at level 2, the passive ability for the fortress is allied infantry, cavalry, and heroes around the Mandos fortress recharge their abilities 25% faster. Level 2, you can put this on units. They gain permanent 50% resistance to magic damage. Level 3, same thing. You can make it so the units auto heal 30% faster. And at level 4, you can grant any structure permanent 25% armor and 25% health, but it only works one time though. So you can't like keep stacking it on one building to make it invincible. And then you can the last ability is you get the Palantir. This is the same as Saruman's Palantir vision
I will be your guide.
from Isengard. Exact same ability. And for the units, the Mandos units are the most expensive infantry units in the game, but they are also incredibly strong. They also have a lot of require a lot of command points, 72.
We elves will help fight against
We bring swords from Lorien. We bring swords from Lorien.
So the archers, as you'll notice though, this is pretty much the only Imladris unit that you can recruit that is not locked at 5 units. So you do get 9, and they are well worth the cost. So the archers, they shoot very far, they deal a lot of damage. They have like the second highest range in the game, I think. They get a passive at level 2, nearby allies gain 25% vision. They get an armor upgrade at level 8, they get, like most first stage archers, get 20% damage, 120% range for 20 seconds. The swordsmen at level 2, they grant allies, their passive is to grant nearby allied units 25% damage. They get an armor upgrade at level 10, they get 50% damage and 50% armor. And then spearmen, they get a porcupine formation, so they get 100% armor. They get knockback resistance, and trampling enemies will be stopped immediately. And then we get 2 heroes from the fortress. We get Fëanor, Fingolfin, Fëanor and Fingolfin.
At last,
Let's move Gwaihir over here too. Let's go over these guys. We'll go over Fingolfin.
At last. You dare speak to me.
So for Fingolfin, he has 2 passives here. Level 1, he Grants allied heroes, nearby allied heroes 25% armor. At level 5, he debuffs nearby allied heroes. They lose 50% armor. So that's incredibly strong. At level 3, he gets a horn, horn of Gondor. At level 5, he can ride his mighty warhorse. Was it Rockalor? He doesn't get any abilities on it though, except he can use the lightning ability. At level 7, it's a lightning ability. It does a lot of damage. At level 10, he gains a Blade Master. He gains 75% damage, 30% speed, and immunity to fear, terror, and knockback. And he also loses 25% armor.
I grow impatient.
For Fëanor, his passive ability is all allied units near him are immune to fear, terror, knockback, and get experience 300% faster. He causes nearby enemies to fear and terror at level 3. At level 5, he gets a Blade Master, gains 50% damage, immunity to knockback, but loses 25% armor. And it's a really cool effect.
Easily.
At level 7, his passive is he provides nearby allied infantry with 50% resistance to frost, poison, siege, and structure damage, and they also gain 50% damage. At level 10, he gets access to probably one of the, if not the coolest ability in the game, which is the Oath of Fëanor. So for 45 seconds,
we must protect the woods.
let's move these guys over.
You dare speak to me.
So for 45 seconds, Fëanor, his sons, and nearby Mandos units temporarily gain 50% speed, 40% armor damage, and immunity to magic flame, and immunity to magic and flame damage, and immunity to fear and terror. And at the end, all elves who took the oath will suffer the curse of Mandos.
Easily.
So, or I guess I kind of skipped ahead. So he's going to summon his sons, all his sons, and they also each have their own abilities. And then they also provides this. Hey guys, so right as I was about to show off the Oath of Fëanor, the game, or the game crashed because it was just gonna be too damn cool. But anyway, back to showing off the Oath of Fëanor. So let's go over it real quickly again. So Fëanor is gonna summon his sons, and then for 45 seconds, Fëanor, his sons, I believe, and all nearby Mandos units, so literally just the units from the Mandos fortress, they gain.
I grow impatient.
They gain speed, armor, damage, and immunity to magic flame damage, and immunity to fear and terror. And then at the end, they will suffer the curse of Mandos.
Nai kotumarnim, kalina valasausar poik. Moringo son, Eldar Maya Rapanona, Indore Senatan Sinunona, Ilar San, Ilar Melne, Ilar Malkayun San, Osta Ilar Harone, Lau Albartan, So Sauruba Fëanor.
Okay, I'm gonna just let this play for a bit.
Imanaskalia Harne, Armikande Mapa, Herakir Lar Hayata Silmaril. Si vandammi un quale sonantava al mennaia ore metà, qual metalambar metà, quel talma all'asta, ero lubata, oi amorenna, ne queta marzia, ire quellu vati ardalva, ai norantesse tirtasse l'asta, ravanda ignora, varda mani.
Okay, well now that that's over, now this is up to 45 seconds. All these units and heroes will take damage.
Yeah.
Alright, now let's get to Fëanor's sons. Let's start with Maedhros. So they all have the same passive here, bound by oath. So whenever they're near each other, they gain 25% armor and damage. It's the same buff. It doesn't stack or multiple times. It's just going to be one instance of additional 25% armor damage. And then Maglor, he gets a song. This is the Curse of Mandos. He gets a song, and all allies, so this includes heroes, gain immunity to fear and terror for 20 seconds, and 10% speed, and then all nearby enemies lose 50% speed for 20 seconds.
How may I serve? I am here.
Let that play through.
Be quick. It's my brother who paid dearly for his betrayal.
Find your courage.
Justice shall be
Okay.
I am ready.
Now we get to Celegorm. He's a hybrid hero, so he gets between a sword and a bow. And if he has the bow, he gets the Oromi Black Arrow. So it's very good against monsters, and it stuns just any units near the point of impact.
Do not fear.
We got Caranthir. He gets an active ability, so he gets some light around him for 30 seconds. And then all nearby enemy units around... yeah. When he's near enemy units, they're stunned with fear, and then they also lose 25% armor and damage.
Right. Get on
We
with
have
it.
Curufin. He gets a Blade Master, he gets 150% armor and double damage for 60 seconds. We got Amros. He gets Arrowwind, Legolas, and you get Amrod. This is just Athelas for heroes. Okay. That's Fëanor and his sons, and I believe that is...
We shall rest when we are dead.
oh, we just...
Protect the
think
faithful.
that's everything, and then we can get to the
We shall rest
Valar,
when
and
we
then
are
the
dead.
silmaril mechanic. The silmaril mechanic from Imladris, I'll just tell you now, is probably the coolest in this mod. It's the most comprehensive and unique, I would say. So let's go over the Valar, Tulkas.
I return.
Alright, so here's Tulkas. He has 2 Planters of abilities. So he has a passive. All friendly units and heroes are immune to fear, terror, and knockback. He has the Staldo, which gives him a buff. He gains 66% damage, 66% speed, and he increased Crusher level, so he can trample like other cav, I guess, on some monsters. And his attacks become especially good against heroes, but weaker against structures. I'll show it. I'll combine some. I'll show him off in a sec. After I'm reading him, he gets a battle cry, which kind of summons the cloud burst. I guess I'll just show this one off. So all heroes on the battlefield, allied heroes, gain 15% damage and 40% speed for 30 seconds. And this also affects him. And if you combine it with this, it makes him very, very fast.
Yes.
Look at that. I think it's literally the fastest any unit can be in the game.
Yes. Beware.
So yeah, you can basically just run through all these armies, or run through units, armies, heroes.
Yes.
No problem.
The eagle flies.
It's the ring. Get it quick.
Okay,
Beware.
and then you get 6 shake the ground. This is just earthquake.
Yes.
Fear the strongest, so all nearby enemies lose 50% damage, 50% attack speed, and they cannot move for 10 seconds.
As the eagle flies.
He gets great strength. This is just another self buff. He gains 20% armor and damage for 20 seconds. He gets cripple strike. He targets an enemy hero, which deals a lot of damage, and it cripples him for 10 seconds. And then he gets structure destroyer.
Beware.
He just does a lot of damage to a building.
As the eagle flies.
I guess I'll just show him off real quick. See, all his units are stunned and they can't move. Okay, he just glows a bit. That's the self buff. Let's go down here. So Tulkas is actually like one of the best Valars at destroying buildings and kind of killing other Valars. He doesn't really have any abilities to actually to really kill armies. Like he can run through them, but that won't really destroy them. And he can pretty much beat all the other Valars in all the other Valar summon heroes in a 1v1, except and Calagan and Golans and Morgoth. But I think he beats the rest. And let's see how much damage he does here. It's a significant amount of damage, and then he should be able to see how much damage he does to Ring Sauron. Okay, it took half his health. That's pretty good. Also, if you use the buffs, I think it'll do more. Alright, now let's get to the silmaril mechanic.
Ready your tools.
I should have built this earlier. Oh, wait. I'm skipping ahead. I haven't gone over Elrond yet and Gil-galad. My apologies, guys. So Elrond, we'll do Gil-galad. So Gil-galad has a leadership. Allied infantry units near him gain 25% armed damage and resistance to fear and terror. He gets a planter switch level right away. Splendor of Noldor. This interacts with the silmaril mechanic, which I will show later. Star Shield. This is a self buff. He gains 1000% armor, but he loses 80% speed. So basically, he can just hold his ground for like 30 seconds and like won't die. At level 8, he gains another self buff. He gains double damage, and he knocks down enemies in like a wide radius, even though he's not like really hitting them. And then it will, on his other planter, he gets this ability called Shining Star. This is a this is a changing ability depending on the level. So at level 1, nearby enemies lose 25% speed. At level 2, they lose 25% speed and vision. At level 3, instead of enemies losing speed, allies gain 25% armor knockback resistance. At level 4, allies gain 25% damage and fear resistance. Also, this affects only units. It doesn't affect heroes. Don't want to mislead anyone. Level 5, this causes enemy units to run away in fear. At level 6, they become stunned. At level 7, it's a heal. At level 8, it does knockback and probably does a little bit of damage. At level 9, enemies are, I guess it's like a mini word of power. Enemies are damaged and thrown up by the light. And then level 10 is actually an insane word of power kind of ability where he creates a big explosion, does a lot of damage.
We will bring war to them in the wild, wherever they may.
At level 3, he gets the Ring Vilya. This he shoots like air out of his spear, or I guess he's using the ring, whatever. Just move these over here.
You have only one choice.
I sense a dark presence.
Get it quick.
So let me go grab the ring real quick too while they're on the way over.
We ride from Rivendell. Come on!
Seem you were meant to come to Rivendell.
What is it?
You are not the only guardian to stand watch on Middle-earth.
Consumes it with a burning flame that does not abate.
Keep your wits sharp. Don't draw attention.
Shadow grows longer.
Ready, elves.
His cruel arm reaches every
Quick.
Okay.
Hurry, elves of the woods.
So Gil-galad, at level 5, he gains this ability where he targets a battalion. Each member of the battalion is resistant to fear, and they gains 200 health. Allied units, and then when allied units are near those units, they also deal 15% more damage.
We cannot lose hope.
Our homes must be defended.
Shadow grows longer.
Okay, and level 10 he gets Power Rain. This is like a stronger version of this.
They're our enemies.
I'll demonstrate. So let's start with this because it does it'll destroy the least amount of units. Yep.
No apology
And we'll go Power of Iranian.
Consumes it with a burning flame that does not abate.
And then we shall use, we'll actually show off this. Okay, this is not working at the moment. It usually does work though. I probably gotta like
the servants of evil beware.
Let something wear off. Probably some effect wear off. And then show off the Shining Star level 10 version.
But for now,
that's pretty cool.
no apology necessary, my friend.
Okay. And then I believe that's it. Will this work?
They'll find us soon enough.
Okay, it's not gonna work at the moment. Alright, Elrond. I've been putting this off for too long. So Elrond. He's like the true faction leader and your only silmaril hero. So at level 1 he gains the Flood. Flood, he summons 3 water horses, and then they deal water damage to enemies. It's basically like a mini Flood. Yeah. Okay, he summons 2. And then he gets a Palantir switch right away. He gets Farsight, or actually, yeah. We'll stick to this Palantir. Alright, so actually, never mind. No, we'll go here first. We'll target this Palantir. Anyway, so level 4 he gains Farsight. This is just Farsight from vanilla. Just reveals a part of the map. Level 7 he gains quite a strong ability. He can level up a hero, and they gain like decent experience. At level 10 he gains a similar ability to Gil-galad. So the selected allied units gain resistance to pierce, water, fire, flame, magic, poison, and frost damage. They also heal faster. And if knowledge of the millennia is active, they also receive a banner carrier. At level 12 he gains restoration. It heals allied units and heroes, and they can all use their abilities again. If knowledge of the millennia is active, the radius is larger and the effect is amplified. Now back to this Palantir. So at level 5 he equips his armor. I guess I should have shown earlier, but usually he just comes out in like his robes that you see in the movies, like the red outfit, or the red robes, I mean. And then when he hits level 5, he equips his armor. He gains permanent 50% armor, and he also deals splash damage.
Engage them!
Why'd you linger?
His base attack. Just a little bit of splash damage. Yep, there we go. And then the other part about this is that he actually gains access to a new Palantir, and you have a choice of 3 new leaderships. So the first one, these provide different bonuses to units and also affects his ability. So for the first one, units receive 50% damage and attack speed, and then it improves the Flood ability, Rage of the Loud Waters. It also, the other names are for when he has the Silmaril. So right now it only affects the Rage of the Loud Waters and the Ring of Vilya, which is, we'll get to that in a moment. His second leadership, allied units receive armor, 50% armor and resistance to fear and terror, and then improves Ancient Wisdom, Elrond's Advice, and Restoration. So I believe that is the the unit buff one, the Restoration obviously, and then the giving XP to heroes, and then the last one is Erendel's Heritage. So allies and his allied units in the vicinity are 50% faster and they heal faster, and then improves Gift of Province and Blessing of Break Valley. So we're just going to go with the damage one. Move on. As you can see, allied units receive 3% damage and attack speed, and improves this ability. So I believe the radius is bigger here. Yeah, the radius is bigger. And it does a little bit more damage too. And then level, it's Blessing of Break Valley. This is his level 14 ability. So enemies in the target area suffer a large amount of flame damage. All allies are healed, and if there's any units within this, they gain 50% armor and resistance to fear and terror. And if the Erendel's Heritage is active, does more damage, and the allies also deal 25% damage. So this is kind of similar to the Celeborn ability from Lothlorien. Right, and then level 20, the Ring Velia. He just summons Tornado. Same as the one Galadriel summons, and pretty much the same as vanilla, I believe. And if you have the Ring Velia, or not the Ring Velia, if you have the Hadhafang's Aura active, it does more damage. Okay. Okay. Now let's... Where's the Silmaril?
Spears ready.
Okay.
Onward.
Now let's go over the Silmaril mechanic.
Ready your tools.
Oh, actually, I forgot to go over one thing. So, depending on which leadership that Elrond has, it interacts with the twins on their other planters. So, because I have had a Fang's aura active, the twins gain this ability. So, this just provides scavenger. So, when it's an active scavenger for like 30 seconds. And then, if we switch to Knowledge of the Millennia, they will get a new ability. So the selected Imladris building recruits units faster, and it decreases the cost of units for 25%. So you can use it on the barracks and turn the train on, and it will recruit all the units faster, and it will decrease the cost there. So usually the veterans are like 18, and they take a while to recruit. Yep.
Stay focused, elves. We must protect.
Don't know exactly how long this lasts for. I think it's like 20 seconds.
We come to protect Middle-earth. Be quick.
But yeah, as you can see, very strong ability. So you get Scavenger and basically Call the Horde for Imladris units, which are like the strongest units in the game. And then, lastly,
we come to protect Middle-earth. We will defend the Elven lands.
okay, and then the last special ability is that you get Descendants of the Numenorians, so they summon Halbrad and members of the Grey Company. I don't think you can control them though. Let's see. They might take a sec to load too, I guess. Yeah, you can't control them, so this is kind of just a flavor ability, I guess. Kind of cool.
I will guard our people.
Okay, now back to Elrond. Let's finally give him the silmaril, and let's go over the silmaril mechanic for Imladris, which is very cool in my opinion. It's honestly like probably my favorite silmaril mechanic. Okay, so Elrond, he's got the robes of the king, kind of like Gil-galad. He's got his water sword. He does the sword, I think, deals more damage, if I remember correctly, or maybe it's oh no, yeah, I think it does more damage. It summons like the water spout, but for the most part, all his abilities are exactly the same. Nothing really new, except I think, yeah, when he has the silmaril, this will instantly level up a hero to level 10. So that's incredibly strong. So he gets access to a new leadership. So this one, High King of the Elves. Allies near Elrond, I believe this affects heroes actually, and then allies near Elrond will be constantly healed, and then the units will receive 50% armor and damage. Yeah, allied. So he'll constantly heal your heroes and your units, and then the units will also gain 50% arm damage, but this doesn't improve any of your other abilities, like your flood, blessing, tornado, etc. Okay, and then once we give Elrond the silmaril, the builder can now build the Altar of Light.
There is much to do. We have a new structure.
And now we can go for the Grace of the Ainur, and we have three options here. So we can either ask for the favor of Aule, the favor of Mandos, or the favor of Manwe. So we're going to start with Aule. So the favor of Aule allows us to summon Noldor warriors and Gil-galad's bodyguards.
With a burning flame that does not abate.
So normally you're only allowed to summon like 2 of these Noldor warriors.
Let our enemies.
But because Gil-galad, when Gil-galad levels up, you can recruit additional Noldor warriors. So now there's like what is this, six Noldor warriors, and then you can get Gil-galad's bodyguards regardless of what level he is. These are I think just elite pikemen. Yeah, they're just elite pikemen. They get a shield wall. They have a special bonus, so excuse me. So when these bodyguards and Gil-galad are on the battlefield, Gil-galad and the bodyguards get 50% armor and 20% speed, and lastly they get an armor upgrade. So yeah, these buff your Gil-galad, and Gil-galad buffs them with that same ability and his generic leadership. And now you can get the Noldor warriors. These are the strongest infantry units in the game. They can switch between bow and sword. They have the golden, I think they have the, yeah, they fire the golden tipped arrows by default. They get a blade master at level 5, 50% armor damage, and 25% attack speed. How many of these guys?
We bring swords from Lorien. We bring swords from Lorien. We come to protect Middle-earth. We bring swords from Lorien. We travel from Lorien. We come to protect Middle-earth. We bring swords from Lorien. We travel from Lorien. We bring swords from Lorien. Ready, elves. This is the way. Keep your wits sharp. Hurry, elves of the wood. Maintain your balance. This is the way. Don't let them through. Hold it. Ready, elves.
So I think you can have like, I think, what is this? Like 8?
Keep your wits sharp. Weapons ready, elves. Watch for the enemy. Our homes
yeah, so you can have 8 of these Noldor warriors. Like I said, they're incredibly strong. Probably the best infantry unit in the game. They're just kind of absurd. They do cost a bit, and they have that's the most amount of command points for a unit. So that's the favor of Mandos. I'm gonna have to reload, and then we can go over the other two choices from Imladris. But this is the first one, the cheapest one, the most straightforward one. You just get these insane units. Okay. Be right back. Hey guys, we're back. So now we're gonna go over. We're gonna actually skip this. This requires. We'll do this last because I think it's. In my opinion, this is the coolest one, and then we're gonna end off on that. So we're actually gonna go for the favor of Manwë, which costs 1,500. This allows you to gain access to very powerful eagles. So we go for the favor of Manwë. We can purchase Landrival, Meneldor, and then we can get some giant eagles, just like from vanilla. Once we level up, I think we just need to level up. Okay, we need to level up Landrival. Okay.
It's the ring. Get it quick.
Excuse me. Okay. Let's get these guys leveled up real quick. And then we'll go over their abilities. Okay. Let's go over Landrival. So Landrival at level 1. Okay, at level 1, he gains. Okay, so he gains active ability for 30 seconds. All enemy units who are flying underneath Landrival, or who are underneath Landrival, cower in fear and will not fight. So, yep. Okay, so he's just constantly flying around, causing fear.
It is upon us.
Level 3, he also just has a screech. So he's just got 2 fear abilities. At level 5, he gains the rescue. So for 30 seconds, allied infantry and cavalry units near Landrival gain resistance to fear and terror, and then nearby enemy monsters, beasts, and flying dragons lose 50% damage and vision. Let's see. Let's get some units over here. And then we'll check that out. And then his passive at level 8, from now on he can summon, more eagles can be summoned from the light altar. And funny thing about these guys, they are not capped, actually. And they also cost no command points. Alright, let's see his level 5.
The ring has been dropped.
It's kind of a cool effect. There's no monsters here, so the debuff is not gonna work. Okay, and then the last ability is Storm Splitter. So all units underneath Landreval will be knocked over, and they'll take minor damage. I guess if there's the burning like the fires on the ground from like, I don't know, like rain of fire or something, the fires spread or are stronger. And then during this time, he also gains speed, 50% attack or 50% movement speed, attack speed, and he also becomes invulnerable. So that sounds like an insane level 10. Okay, it didn't knock over these units, but it is knocking over these units. Will it knock these guys over? Okay. Description is a bit wrong. So it just knocks over enemy units.
Stay focused, El. Don't let them through. Watch your footing.
Now, let's go over Meneldor. So Meneldor is a smaller eagle. Okay, actually, I'll just do the same damage. Yeah. Move. Okay, Meneldor. So, his first ability is a passive, so he permanently is just 20% faster. He has Screech at level 2. It seems like all eagles just have Screech, which is kind of interesting. Level 4, he permanently gains 100% vision, so he'll reveal more of the map and he'll see more units. Levels. I guess he unlocks this right away. Meneldor gains 50% resistance to all damage types except magic and flame damage, and he also gains 60% speed. So that's nice. Let's see. Claws of the North. This is level 10, so he switches to his razor sharp claws to assault enemies. Does not have any sort of bonus against buildings. So he deals 700% damage to siege units or machines, and he does 300% damage to heroes and monsters. The impact of the attack also knocks over nearby enemies and deals minor splash damage. Let's move him down here. During this time, enemy heroes and monsters within the radius of Meneldor's attacks lose 20% armor, damage, speed, and they lose all resistance to fear and terror. Okay, so let's activate this. So he should be doing almost, what, 4k damage? Almost 4k damage to heroes. Okay, and there's the debuff. So he almost one-tapped that Frodo. Oh, he's being debuffed by Sauron. So if he was not getting debuffed by Sauron, he would probably be almost one-shotting. He'd probably be one-shotting Frodo.
The ring has been dropped.
Okay, so that's it for the Favor of Manwë. Another unique, interesting, another unique, interesting way to use the silmaril mechanic for Imladris. Like I said, or mentioned earlier, apparently these eagles are just not capped, and they don't cost command points. So you could have just an army of them, and they get buffed by Gwaihir. So you can like low-key do a fun eagle strat if you're playing against the AI. I doubt you'll be able to do that against a player. But it is what, if that's what you want to go for, feel free. So now I'm going to reload one more time, and we will go over the Favor of Mandos, and I'll be right back.
cross these lands. Fiery chasm from whence it came.
Alright guys, I'm back. So as you may have noticed, I have put an AI on the other team because we're going to need them for what we're about to do. So the final grace of the Valar that you can get for Imladris, is the favor of Mandos. So for 1,000 we buy it, and then we unlock the ability here, Path to Immortality. So what we're going to do is we're going to find Glorfindel, because this revolves around him, and he's going to receive the power and grace of the Valar. And when Glorfindel dies, he will be blessed by Mandos and sent back to Middle Earth to become one of the most powerful heroes in the game. So Mandos Glorfindel, I guess, is kind of like the second hidden silmaril hero for Imladris. So we're not gonna use the trainer here because this is I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes it can be a bit buggy sometimes for him to actually become Mandos Glorfindel. Okay. We're just gonna send him to the fortress, and we're gonna let Mordor just have their way with him. That sounded weird. Just gonna let him die.
Their evil ends here. Remove this evil.
Okay.
Take them here.
Okay, let's just have him run around. Oh, he's getting knocked over by the trolls. Right.
The enemy is upon us.
Alright. Glorfindel's dead. That effect right there means that the plan succeeded. So now we can revive Glorfindel. He costs 0. And he will be returned at full power.
I have building supplies.
This will take, I think he's on like a 40-second revive timer.
It's the ring. Get it quick. I serve the House of Elrond. I serve the House of Elrond.
Okay.
Be swift.
You see, Glorfindel's and he's got aura around him, and he's got his armor, and now he has some new abilities. I believe his mounted abilities are the same, but he has the he still has the same Wind Rider. Actually, no, his Wind Rider is a little different. He gains 250% speed and 100% armor, but he cannot crush units. So definitely better than his default form. Okay, so he has a new passive here. So because Glorfindel's been blessed by Mandos, he has all of his memories unlocked, which you can use right away, unlike in the default version where you have to go through the trouble of leveling up and then using the memories of Gondolin or whatever, memories of the first stage, and then unlocking each one by one. You just get them all right away. He has permanent 25% armor. He already has a significant armor buff. He actually has one of the best armor sets in the game. But anyway, he buffs nearby allied infantry and cavalry to gain 50% armor and recharge, or 50% recharge cooldown. And he also makes enemy units cower in fear when he's nearby. His blade, he gets the Blade of Resurrection, so he does not get a buff with this. So basically when he attacks, your units he'll regenerate, losing my mind in combat. So when he attacks nearby allied units, if they're not at full members in their horde or in the battalion, he'll revive them. He still has this is still the same passive, the Aura of Power. And then we get the new Palantir here. So this is kind of similar to the abilities he gets right away, but they're a little bit different. So for Elbreth's Light, instead of Starlight, it stuns nearby enemy units, and then all allies nearby gain 50% armor and damage for a while. They also collect gain experience twice as fast and are healed. Destroyer of Darkness. This is the same ability. He targets an enemy hero to destroy it, and then he takes moderate damage and is stunned for 30 seconds. Downfall of Evil. So, you need a hero for this. All enemies near the hero take continuous damage for 2 minutes, and then all heroes near the target permanently lose 50% armor and damage and take twice as long to recharge their abilities. So, and if there are any heroes happening to be nearby that hero, they also are permanently debuffed. And then Light of Punishment. This is a way stronger Light of Hope. Like, this just stuns and destroys units, I believe. Let's move towards the bigger army.
The shadow must be stopped. Evil has spread across these lands. Let us go.
Okay. Yeah. So this looks really similar. Okay, so it's not a stun. It's just it's just like insta kills all of them. It doesn't last that long though. Anyway, let's go over. Let's get on Asphalloth and let's. That's the Black Riders. Okay, nice.
Follow me.
He's much faster now. Wow, he might be faster than Tulkas. All right. So.
Attack!
So he can one-shot Sauron. He actually took no damage there. Maybe the description's wrong. But he is stunned.
We must gather our strength.
So yeah, I guess he can just kill a hero for free, without much of a penalty.
I will face them.
Let's get off this and then.
Let me show you. Let us go.
Okay. And then let's use that ability. I think they have to be really close for them to take damage. Anyway, that's it. Glorfindel can pretty much beat all these guys by himself because he is blessed by Mandos. He's taking very little damage here, even though he's up against the Black Riders and a whole bunch of units. But anyway, that's it. Guys, that's it for Imladris. This was quite a long video. So the next we have 2 factions left. We have Gondor and Angmar, which are probably the 2 factions most people want to see. They're 2 of my favorite factions, and they're quite unique and cool in this version. So I've been saving them for last. So if you, the next faction I will go over will be completely dependent on you guys. Just leave a comment down below which one you want to see, and I will do that one next. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more Dagor Dagorath Hero Submod content, and peace out, guys. Have a good one. Oh, and lastly, I'll leave a link down in the description if you want to try and play this mod. It's getting really good. It's been, the developers have spent over a year now, kind of like giving it some polish, and you know, trying to make things easier to understand. Because if you've watched all these videos, you see that this is probably the most like in-depth BFME2 mod. All right, that's it. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good one, guys. Peace out.